Today, I want to begin our journey with a psalm that recently spoke to me. This is from Psalm 62, verse 5 through 8. It says, "Let all that I am wait quietly before God, for my hope is in him. He alone is my rock and my salvation, my fortress where I will not be shaken. My victory and honor come from God alone. He is my refuge, a rock where no enemy can reach me." Now, there's one phrase that strikes me in that passage. It says, "May all that I am wait quietly before God." I have a hard time waiting. It's difficult for me. Some of us can relate to that. And just recently, I had some friends in town, and it's good for you to know. So I have 3 coffee pots in my house. I have a French press, I have a Keurig, which makes an individual cup, and then I have like a traditional coffee pot. And whenever guests come over, we use all 3 the whole time that they're there, especially if they're coffee drinkers. So this one morning, I'd woken up and I was preparing for the coffee to be made. I made the coffee for my guests, but I was too impatient to wait for that coffee. So I made my own Keurig while I was waiting on the other coffee for my guests. And I forgot that our electric outlet can't handle both coffee machines and the power goes off. So in my impatience, I created a problem that made me wait longer, but I tried to fix it by moving the coffee pot to another counter, and I made a huge mess of coffee all over the place. It was my inability to wait that made a mess in my life. And isn't it true that in our lives so often the inability to wait makes messes of our lives? We asked the question earlier this week, what are you waiting for? But there's also a part of that waiting that is coming back to a patience in God, to trust in him, to trust that he is able in our lives to strengthen, to deliver, to work out things that we can't see while we're waiting. He's working while we're waiting. But that kind of waiting requires patience. The kind of waiting requires even a willingness to sit patiently before God. So today, what I want to do for our time, as we reflect, I want to encourage you, put the phone down, turn the music off, and just sit there quietly before God and let him speak to you. And perhaps in this moment, the very question you would ask God would be, God, what is it that you want to say to me in the quiet? What is it that you want to speak to me in the waiting? Let all that I am wait patiently before him. And as the psalmist says that you stand on a rock, I want you to imagine yourself sitting or standing on a firm rock of God's faithfulness and let him speak. Tomorrow we'll come back and we'll continue wrestling through this idea of waiting. But today, I want to encourage you just to wait patiently before God and ask him to speak. What is it that you want to say to me in the waiting, God?